Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Health regarding the harmful effect of chemical agents such as tear gas and other irritants used by law enforcement agencies. Honorable Speaker, a recent demonstration led by young people, often referred to as exposed vulnerable populations such as children, elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions to disproportionate health risks. Mr. Speaker, scientific research has shown the exposure of tear gas and other irritants can cause a wide range of health issues, ranging from acute and long-term effects. The acute effects have been said to include severe irritation of the eyes, skin, and respiratory system, while long-term effects include glaucoma, blindness, respiratory failure, and even death due to chemical burns to the lungs. And even death due to chemical burns to the lungs and canister injuries. Further, the law of war, Mr. Speaker, where far greater...
Order. Take your seat, Martin. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order, Johanna Ngeno. Order. Honorable members. Order. Honorable members, in the event you have something to consult on, which is your right, don't disturb the House. I allow you to use the Speaker's recess room behind here, or you can go to the corridor or to the lounge. But please don't hold a Kamukunji in the middle of ongoing proceedings in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's as if I was not heard. Can I start again?
You start.
Thank you. The Speaker, Honorable Speaker, to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the harmful effects of chemical agents such as tear gas and other irritants used by the law enforcement agencies. Honorable Speaker, a recent demonstration led by young people, often referred as Generation Z, have brought to the light pressing calls for substantial reforms and the elimination of socioeconomic inequalities affecting the people. These protests aimed at prompting transformative action from the government have been met with excessive crowd control measures by the police, most notably the indiscriminate use of tear gas and water cannons, which also extended to residential and primary schools within the close proximity. This has exposed vulnerable populations such as children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions to disproportionate health risks. Mr. Speaker, scientific research has shown that exposure to tear gas and other irritants can cause a wide range of health issues ranging from acute to long-term effects. The acute effects have been said to include severe irritation of the eyes, skin, and respiratory system, while long-term effects include glaucoma, blindness, respiratory failure, and even death due to chemical burns to the lungs and canister injuries. Further, in the law of war, where far greater leeway is given to the use of deadly force, the use of tear gas is banned, particularly under the Geneva Protocol of 1925 and the Chemical Weapons Convention of 1993. Therefore, its continued use of law enforcement agencies as a riot control agent poses a greater risk to the health of peaceful protesters. In It is against this background that I seek a statement from the
Order,
chairperson.
members. Can we have your conversations in low tones? Member for Dagoretti, member for Embakasi, take your seats.
Sit down. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. Number one, an overview of the composition and concentration levels of tear gas and other irritants used by law enforcement officers and whether their use is authorized considering the concerns of their harmful effects on victims. Number two, a report on both the immediate and long-term health risks associated with tear gas exposure, with particular attention to vulnerable groups such as those with respiratory conditions. And last, Mr. Speaker, and very important, the strategies and measures put in place to safeguard public and the alternative mechanisms that could be deployed instead of tear gas or other irritants to manage protests, riots, or civil unrest. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Martin. Chair Health, Dr. Pukose, you've heard what Honorable Wino is saying.
Thank
when
you.
Can you bring a statement?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the issue that has been raised by Honorable Martin Owino, Ward Chief, who happens to be a member of my Committee of Health, is a weighty issue. And I think given 2 weeks, we'll be able to bring an answer to the House. Thank you, Honorable
2
Speaker.
weeks,
Yes.
that's okay. Yes, Mayaka?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, just allow me to raise this particular concern. You had given instructions about 6 weeks ago that the Social Protection Committee brings a response on a statement I raised in regards to the matter of anti-FGM, but there's been no response to that issue, Honorable Speaker. This is 6 weeks later, so I'm very concerned about that. Thank you.
Is the chair social protection here? Owen, who is your chair? Is it Alice Nganga?
No, it's not Alice Nganga. It's what
Who?
is it? Not Haika.
Yeah? The chair is Alice Nganga.
For integration.
Social protection.
Yes, Alice.
Where is she?
I had the cohesion.
Can you tell her to bring a response to Honorable Mayaka's statement tomorrow afternoon?
All right. Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Malulu Injendi. Honorable Malulu Injendi.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm raising an issue to do with a question I raised to the CS Transport. Mr. Speaker, I raised a question on A1 Road, that's Kakamega to Kabrengo Road, which is incomplete. There are no works going on the road. And I raised this question on 16th August of 2023. Mr. Speaker, after I raised the question, Parliament ended. We resumed again in February 2024. I raised a similar question again to the CS. And up to now, the Speaker, there's no response about that particular road in terms of completion.
Where is the chair roads? GK? Is it true you have been sitting on that statement from August last year? This is a year later.
Honorable Speaker,